Hello there, vinyl community. I'm back again with another vinyl update, and I got a lot of stuff to show that I'm really excited to be showing. I'm actually doing laundry in the background. You might hear noises from the washing machine, so I apologize about that. But I just couldn't wait to make this video. I've got a lot of exciting stuff to show. As always, I'm going to start with singles first. This is the first one, Spirit 1984. This is a white label promo on Ode Records. The B-side of this is Sweet Stella Baby. Haven't listened to the B-side yet, though, to be honest. But, you know, these singles are really cheap, so I figured I'd pick them up. This is the second one right here. Let me just take it out of this sleeve. On the Pink Immediate label, the Small Faces with Ichiku Park, backed with I'm Only Dreaming. Really cool one to have as well. So, the next one is also not very exciting. This is an album, but it's just a cover upgrade because I found just the cover, so now I pieced together a really nice copy of this album. It's the Doors' first album, still in the shrink. This was just the cover, so I got my copy with it, the first press I had of it, and pieced together a pretty clean copy. So I'm really glad I was able to do that with such a nice cover. You know, the disc is okay, you know. Hopefully I find a nice minty disc to put in so I have a really nice presentable copy of the debut album from the Doors. So now going on to a little more exciting stuff. The first two I'm going to show are both the same album, but they're both different pressings of it. So I'm going to start off with this copy. This is the Beatles' Abbey Road. This is laminated cover, obviously, but this is an Israeli press with a flip back cover and a tinted back cover. And that's not where it stops in the strangeness factor. It's on a black and silver Parlophone label as well. So you don't really find these on a black and silver Parlophone label at all. It lists Her Majesty on the back, so it's not the earliest of pressings, but still, finding one on a black and silver Parlophone is just absolutely insane. 99% of the time when you find this is going to be on Apple. Like this pressing. Let me take this one out of the outer sleeve. This is a pressing from India in a sort of laminated cover. It's not really laminated, it's just kind of like glossy cardstock. Very thin sleeve, by the way. It mentions on the back that it was pressed in Dum Dum, India. And here's the disc right here. It's an early label, but it lists Her Majesty on the side 2 label, but it's in a different font. Right there, made in India. You can see Her Majesty's in a different font, excuse me. So it was definitely an afterthought to put that in. So, just really exciting to have these two. So, I continue on with my good luck with my finds. I got a lot of really good stuff. This is the first one, and this one was a big wow factor for me because this album's very hard to come. Anything by this band is pretty hard to come by. And this is an original German pressing of Frumpy 2 with the original bag too. It came originally in this little bag right here. Most of the time when you find this, it doesn't even have the cover because the cover isn't even really much of a cover. It's kind of like reminiscent of Ogden's Nut Gone Flake by the Small Faces, as it folds out into a 6-panel section like this. You get the 3 right there, and then if I do this again and turn it around, you have to be careful. This is very delicate. You get the pictures of the band members of Frumpy. Excellent prog rock, by the way. Absolutely amazing album. And the other side is lyrics. And you really don't find these with the cover too often. So I was absolutely stoked to get it. Here's the disc. The disc on it is just a beautiful near mint disc on Philips, original German copy. Side 2 has a custom label, and I was very, very glad to add this to the collection. I absolutely love this album, and I got it at a very, very, very cheap price compared to what they go to, so really glad to have it. I have this cardboard stiffener in there as well. This next one is also an original German pressing. This isn't... It's more along the lines of more just rock-based more than prog, but it's still an excellent album. It is Inside by Eloy. Laminated cover, original German pressing. It's a Unipack-style gatefold, and it's on Harvest. Let me take that disc out. It's just right here. Original Harvest label, beautiful condition disc. You know, you really can't beat it. Just a great album, great band. Next one was a big wow for me because I've been wanting this album for the longest amount of time that I could think of. And this is a later 70s UK pressing of it, but I'm still really glad to own it. It has a different cover, by the way. This is Aphrodite's Child 666. Absolute great album. The psychedelic and prog masterpiece right here. Later era UK pressing from the 70s. I think this came out actually 77 for this pressing. And it's on, of course, Vertigo Records. It would have been a lot cooler if it's on the Vertigo Swirl label, but beggars can't be choosers, so I'll take this in any any label variation or whatnot I can get. It's a 2-record set. I'm only going to show that one disc just to save time. Just absolutely stoked to find this. This is a UK pressing. I don't think it's a first pressing. It might be a 70s issue of Frank Zappa, Lumpy Gravy. I'd like to think the originals, I think they were laminated and had flipbacks inside, the little flaps inside, but this one doesn't, and it's on the Black Verve label. So I think this might be a later pressing from the 60s or maybe very early 70s, because it's still a very early UK issue of it. So I was glad to add this to the collection. I haven't listened to this album yet, and real excited to. This one I've been wanting in my collection for literally since I started collecting. It's just I've never been able to come across a copy. This is pretty cheap, even though it's like a 70s issue, early 70s, so. It is Electric Ladyland by the Jimi Hendrix Experience. Has a little ding in the corner, which is why it was cheap. You can see right there. You know, I'm not going to hide that stuff. It's a pretty sizable ding, but, you know, what are you going to do? You know, it doesn't really take away from the music. The music is what you get it for. The disc on it's beautiful. Really, really nice condition. 2-record set. Again, I'm only going to show just the one disc to save us time. Another one I've wanted for a long time. You're going to hear that a lot. The price sticker was stuck on this, so I figured I'd just leave it on because it wouldn't come off without taking the cover off. This is Then Play On by Fleetwood Mac. Last Fleetwood Mac album to feature Peter Green. Really, really good condition on it. Especially on the disc. The disc is beautiful. Has the original inner sleeve as well. And it's the later issue with Oh Well on it, but, you know, I'll find the different variations because they had many different pressings of this in the U.S. where they had different track listings. It's just, it's so hard to find the originals that don't have Oh Well because I don't think this really charted too well without that single. But correct me on that if I'm wrong. Another one, 2-record set. Well, I have a lot of 2-record sets to show. This is Ginger Baker's Air Force. Original on the Atco label. Very reminiscent gatefold to Wheels of Fire by Cream. I saw it and I'm like, huh, very reminiscent. On Atco, been wanting this one for a while as well. Really clean disc on it. The cover's okay condition. It has some split seams that have been fixed. But, you know, that's all just cosmetic stuff. In the end, it's just about the music. This one's real clean. This is Richie Havens, 1983. It has the original insert. This is as well a 2-record set. And let me show the insert first. Just one-sided lyrics and all that. And again, just showing one disc for the sake of time. On MGM. Beautiful condition disc, by the way. The disc on it looks like it's very, very, very rarely been played. So I was glad to add that to the collection. Now we're getting to some. These next two were in a lot online. And this was one of the records in that lot. The Amboy Dukes' first album. Real glad to have this. This is an early copy with the misprint. They do a cover of I Feel Free by Cream, but on the label it's written I Feel Fine, like the Beatles song. So, kind of strange misprint there. And, you know, I don't really find Amboy Dukes stuff in the wild, so, you know, anytime I'll find stuff like this online for cheap, I'll go ahead and grab it. You know, it's good enough condition for me. This is one I already have, but this is an upgrade. This is a stock copy. My other copy of this is a promo, and I gotta say, if you never listened to this, it's pretty common. Go ahead and give it a shot, because this is a really good album. This is The Road. It's mainly consisted of covers, but they're excellent. They do like a very psyche, not psych, but very, very light psych version of She's Not There by the Zombies. It's the first track on the album. They also do like Mr. Soul, Rock and Roll Woman. You know, it's just some really good songs on here. And it is on the Kama Sutra label. I always love this label. I just think it's a wonderful label. Anytime you see anything on Kama Sutra, you know, just pick it up. It's a great label. So we're going on to some dollar bin stuff. We're going to start this off with Fathers and Sons, 2-record set. Right here you see who's featured on it. It's got some of my favorite people on it. Paul Butterfield, Mike Bloomfield, Muddy Waters, Buddy Miles. Again, I'm only going to take out one disc to show. It's on Chess Records. So I was real glad to pick this one up. And this one I've wanted for a while as well. That's going to be the topic of the day. I've wanted this for a while. But it's such a common album. I never wanted to pick it up online because I always wanted to find it in person, and I finally did. The Turtles, Happy Together, you know? For such a common album, for a song that was such a huge hit, went to #1, never been able to find the album at all. Found this in the dollar bin, I was stoked. I had to get it. It has writing on the label, someone wrote their initials, but the disc on it is pretty nice, so, you know, that makes up for it. Just to have a pretty good copy of the original Happy Together album, really made my month, actually. Love the Turtles. I had this, but I traded it for an 8-track, and I forgot what 8-track I traded it for, but I got it back either way from a dollar bin. Queen, News of the World. It's right around the same condition as the one I traded, except this one has a pretty bad tear on the inner sleeve. Mine didn't, had a pretty nice inner sleeve. You know, you can't beat it, though. The disc is real nice as well. So, again, it's all about the music. This is a German pressing from the 80s of Supertramp, Even in the Quietest Moments. Has the original inner sleeve as well. And I love the label it's on. I love this label. It's on a white A&M label. German pressing. And the cover is kind of a quirk as well, because the entire inside of the cover is printed on, like, blue paper. Hopefully that's coming through well, though. Phil Oakes in concert. This is a stereo copy right here. I got this on a whim. I don't have any Phil Oakes, so why not get it? It's in one of those covers that they made stereo from mono, and it is a gold label Electra. Some people say it's a brown label, some people say it's like a mustard label. I call it a gold label because that's what it looks like to me. I don't know what the official color of it would be, so I gotta check into that so we can all refer to it as a proper label. This is a later issue of this, but it's still a really cool one to have from the dollar bin. ZZ Top's first album. You know, if you ever listen to early ZZ Top stuff, like Salt Lick and Miller's Farm, that single, they had an organ player. They did, like, straight up, like, kind of like hard psych, I guess you could say. It's really good either way. I haven't listened to this entire album yet. I'm really excited to listen to it. I know this was after they ditched their organ player, or vice versa. I don't know the complete story behind it. But still, just to find this in a dollar bin, even if it's not an original, totally gonna get it. This is Uriah Heep's Sweet Freedom. This has a, it has like 2 gatefolds. It's kind of like Skinner's First and Last by Leonard Skinner, that it has the, kind of like that. I don't know how to describe it. 2-panel gatefold, I guess. And it is on the, let me just take that inner sleeve out. I need to give it a new inner sleeve. This label, the Palm Tree label of Warner Brothers. So, why not? It was in a dollar bin. This was also in a dollar bin, and, you know, I never find anything by these guys either, so when I saw this in the dollar bin, I'm like, wow, better grab it. Stylistics, let's get it all together. Real nice one to have, real nice condition. It even has the original Avco inner, and the disc on it is just stunning. It's like near mint. I don't understand why this was in a dollar bin, you know? But, you know, I'm not going to complain, though. It's going to my collection. It will be cherished. And this is actually the last record I have to show before I go on to, like, 2 cassettes I got. This was in that online lot, too. I just misplaced it in the order of the records that I'd gotten. This is Paul Revere and Raiders in the Beginning. This is a reissue of their second album, I believe. This is a Capitol Record Club issue. Like I said, it was in a lot. I wouldn't have picked it up had it been by itself, because it's the cover's pretty cruddy. But when you get to the disc somehow is, like, literally mint. Looks like it's never been touched. Besides someone writing their name on the label. So someone had the time to write their name on the label and mess up the cover, but not actually play the record. That's kind of sad. But, those are the vinyl finds, and then these are the 2 cassettes to end it. This is H2O by Hall & Oates, and Paul Simon, Negotiations and Love Songs. This is a compilation album. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think of these finds. And, I'm actually planning a contest. I just hit the 200 subscriber mark. I'm trying to come up with some ideas with what to do. But I'll have that info coming out to you guys as soon as I can. As always, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate the support you guys give me. Peace and love to all of you.